Yo, 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 this is Judo Woke Ace with a new episode of something we doing new. It's called Truth Talk Nation Presents True News. Today on True News, we got some crazy ass shit, man, that happened at J. Alexander's. See, I never trusted J. Alexander's. I never went there because it always seemed like it was a racist spot. You know what I'm saying? I know most people say, well, yeah, you just not saying this, Judah. Man, I'm telling you. I always thought J. Alexander's was a racist spot. You know, and it came true. So, in Bloomfield, I guess this lady was at the bar, and she was with her husband or something. And two white guys came up in the bar, or in the bar area of J. Alexander's. And her husband had went to the bathroom. You know, have a regular person save their seat. The one lady said, "No, you can have the seat. We don't save seats at J. Alexander's." So she offered the white man a seat. Now, in any restaurant, if you're sitting at the bar and if you get up to go to the bathroom, you know that's your seat. But we just gonna roll the clip on this today. Let's see it.
The restaurant accused of racism.
An African-American woman claims workers at J. Alexander's violated her civil rights and should be fired.
7 Action News reporter Brian Abel tells us how the dispute unfolded in West Bloomfield.
She had just ordered her drink. She was sitting at the bar waiting for a friend to sit next to her when she says the bartender pointed to the seat she was sitting in, telling two white customers looking for seats that they could sit there. What happened next is what's leading her and her attorney to call racial discrimination.
Good night.
Cell phone video taken by Leah Gant on June 20th, moments after getting asked to leave J. Alexander's in West Bloomfield.
I was told to move out of my seat for two other white men to be seated. When I did not get up, for her to say, "I am not going to serve you," and I had done nothing wrong, it made me feel invisible.
When she refused to give up her chair, she says this happened next.
She took my beverage from in front of me and the side drink that comes with it and said, "I'm not going to serve you," took it and threw it in the sink.
Then this disturbing moment.
See, let me stop that right there. Any other person would have threw some food at a person would have been in charge with assault. But this white man gets away with it, and they seem to not charge this man. They can't even find this man. I'm quite sure they have all type of cameras and everything in J. Alexander, but they choose not to bring this guy up on assault charges. But let us throw something at one of them and see who get charged.
Food thrown after Gant says she talked to a manager and was still forced to pay the bill for the drink that was thrown away and shown the door. Inside today, a manager declining to comment, referring us to J. Alexander's Holdings, the parent company, and West Bloomfield Police confirming they are investigating the complaints.
This type of bit.
See, once again, like I said, Bloomfield Hills ought to be ashamed. If anybody was to throw some food, let alone a pencil at anybody, we would be charged with assault in Bloomfields. Right, Melanoid people? But when it comes to them, we investigating it.
Here is archaic racism, reminiscent of the black men and women in the 1950s sitting at the lunch counter.
I asked Ms. Gant's attorney if they plan on filing a lawsuit. They say at this time, all they want is for the employees involved to be terminated. Reporting West Bloomfield, Brian Abel, 7 Action News.
Wow. All they want is them to be terminated. You know what I'm saying? Let's bring up the true video that's on the young lady's Facebook. Let's go. Hold up. Let me scroll down. Here we go. Let's rewind it. And on the news, they was covering up the man's face, as you see. And let's go back to another clip of this man calling her a bitch and everything. Enough of that one right there. Enough of that story. But as we say in Melanoid people, as you see, white privilege. all day and day. And I can't understand it. My man throwing food and getting mad and upset because you couldn't get a seat. Or if somebody was complaining about a seat. This is total bullshit. And everybody know it. And Jay Alexander's ought to do an immediate apology and fire all the management and the bartender at the Bloomfield Hills site. So, next story. We got another story that's coming up with your boy Le'Veon Bell gets robbed for messing with two chicks. They try to rob this guy for over $500,000. Let's break this down.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
Hollywood, Florida.
Oh, okay. Tell me exactly what happened.
Well, I had two girls in my house, and I got up, did my normal routine to go work out. So I left to work out for a couple hours. When I came back, they took my money, they took my watch, my jewelry, a couple more things of value out of my house, and I don't know where they at. I tried to call them before I called you guys. I tried to call them, and they're not answering me, and they're ignoring me.
When did...
They're not answering you and they're ignoring you. These are two chicks that you had in your presence, and you had been messing with them for a minute, and you trying to tell me you can't get in contact, you don't know where they at, Le'Veon? What type of females was you working with?
happened?
This happened today.
Okay, what all did you say was taken? I know you said money.
So money, my jewelry, and other things of value, so like clothes, shoes, just like other things of value around the house, like things that I use. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Really, clothes, shoes, money.
Okay, what is the
Those shoes, money, and
total?
my jewelry.
What is the total estimated value of the items?
Like $1 million.
Since you said that you know the girls who did this, I need to get their description. Are they white, black, or Hispanic?
The girls, one is mixed, and they're both mixed.
Okay, their skin color, if an officer was to drive by, would they look more white, black, or Hispanic?
Let's back that up. If the officer was to drive past, you have to let us know, are these white girls or are these, you just can't come with mixed. Let's back that up. You just can't be coming, Le'Veon, with mixed.
Or white, black, or Hispanic?
One will look more black and the other one will look more.
Okay, the one that looks more black, how old is she?
23.
What was she wearing today?
When I left, she was in the bed. She was in the bed, not wearing clothes when she left. So I didn't see her when she, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, and the other one, you said she looked more Hispanic, is that correct?
Like, she looked more like, if anything, like, white or Hispanic, yes.
Okay. How old is she?
She's 21.
And what was she last seen wearing today?
The same way. She was in the bed, too. Like,
We're just gonna stop it there, Le'Veon. You got set up, you dummy. You get me, Le'Veon? Here you laying up with two exotic chicks, and you swear you was the man now. And all the time they was setting you up, Le'Veon. Didn't Le'Veon play for Michigan State? I think so. You come from the hood too, Le'Veon, but it seemed like you done been slacking on your macking, and they got you for over $1 million worth of shit. And how is this if these was your main chicks, Le'Veon, and you trusted these girls? You know? They more looking white, and you got some exotic chicks and one on each arm, and you're trying to tell me you can't get in contact with these women, Le'Veon. You don't even know where they at. Last time you see them, they was just laying in bed butt naked. And that's what your mind was just all messed up. But as you see, Le'Veon, suckers get got to. And, it happens when you slacking on your macking. So that's another news on this. As you see, this guy is a damn fool for trusting these type of females that you probably didn't even know over a month with $1 million worth of jewelry and all type of artifacts or whatever you had in your house. You just gonna leave them because you figure they looking good. They can't possibly get you. But obviously it was a pimp that was pimping them to pimp and get you. Wow, Le'Veon, I never thought that you would be caught up in a situation like that. Next news. Did you hear about the men being exposed for putting fake screws in your body? Yes, fake screws in your body while they're doing operations. They not getting the screws they're supposed to put in your body from the manufacturers where normal doctors get them from. They probably getting these screws for cheaper, and you know they coming from China. So let's roll this footage.
Bill Reynolds and Mark Cersanci discovered doctors were being paid to perform what some say were unnecessary spinal fusion surgeries. The scam involved doctors allegedly implanting counterfeit hardware into hundreds of patients. Judge, former police officer, and host of the CBS series Whistleblower, Alex Ferreira, spoke to the two men and patients left with devastating consequences.
Come on up, guys. These are the whistleblowers. Nearly a decade after Bill Reynolds and Mark Cersanci first learned about one of the most outrageous medical frauds in California history,
Thank you. I want to continue blaming myself.
they met with some of the patients still suffering from the devastating consequences of this scam.
After surgery, it was nothing but pain-filled days. I couldn't sit. I couldn't walk. I couldn't be a parent.
I didn't want to live anymore.
You didn't want to live anymore?
No. One time I was planning, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to run so I didn't get killed.
Together, they would discover an illegal scheme where middlemen were paid to find patients who had back problems stemming from work-related injuries, and doctors were paid kickbacks to perform the spinal surgeries at specific hospitals.
One of the physicians wanted Super Bowl tickets, airfare, and hotel.
Yes. The scam left many patients in unbearable pain from surgeries some say they didn't need in the first place.
This was entirely a medically unnecessary surgery that was performed.
Ultimately, they would learn that hospitals were not only overbilling for the spinal hardware.
I'm looking at invoices that ranged anywhere from $350,000 to $475,000.
But in many instances, dangerous counterfeit hardware was implanted into the backs of innocent people.
We've had experts come out that have identified my screws as being counterfeit screws.
Wow. Let's stop it right there. Counterfeit screws in people's backs. America is just one big test place where they can get away with shit and make money. Get cheap parts and skip the real parts. We don't need the real screws. We just gonna go to Malaysia and get the screws where we can get a box of them for $100. And we're gonna put that shit in you. Do you see this shit, folks?
Screws, like this one, quickly got mixed in with FDA-approved screws, like this one, made by a reputable medical device company from South Korea.
Those screws go into patients' bones. Little pieces of those threads can break off in people's bodies and end up in their tissue. It can cause serious complications.
The pain has traveled up to my neck, to my shoulders. I'm positive it is because of the counterfeit hardware that was placed in my back.
Do you think your doctor knew that the hardware was counterfeit?
Yes. Absolutely.
Every one of you said that?
Yes.
Without hesitation?
Yes.
Why do you think that?
Greed, money.
It's important to blow the whistle on this. Somebody has to step forward and bring the attention to the magnitude of this problem.
Let's stop it right there. Someone has to be brought to attention. Come on, man. I can scroll back to where they said they got mixed up with the FDA screws. How is that? That means some type of government is in on this shit. Somebody within in the system and the medical supply place is in on this shit. Because they mixing them in with the FDA screws. I mean, didn't they say that? It's right there, true news. So you got people walking around right now with Indonesian screws in you. Ain't this a bitch? What else is they gonna do? What else is fake out here? You know, you can't trust your own doctor to give you real screws. Instead, he want to skimp on the dollar and get you some Chinese-made screws. Damn, public. This is some bullshit. But that's today. This is something new that we trying out. I'm Judo Woke Ace. This is Truth Talk Nation presents True News. I'll take it and see y'all the next time.